Hey there, Chadi, Bazzi here. Welcome to another interview that we're doing today with an amazing person that I met almost 1 year ago. And just watching her transformation, it's been an incredible journey, a journey with, falling down, getting back up, falling down, and getting back up higher and all that good stuff. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. So there's got to be something inside of this conversation that can help you become a top listing agent. Melissa, welcome to the Top Listing Agent Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for a great introduction too.
Yeah, well, we've done too many of these, and not everybody earns a very good introduction, but you've earned it. We've been working together now for, like I said, almost a year. Yeah. And for our audience that has no idea who you are, why don't you tell them, who is Melissa? Where do you start selling real estate? What are you selling that real estate right now? And why are you so amazing?
Well, my name is Melissa Horn. I'm currently selling real estate in Melbourne, Florida with RE/MAX Elite. I started my career as an agent in New York in Suffolk County with Vinny Martino at the time with Douglas Elliman. He is an amazing mentor in my life, and the tools that I gained, he prospected me. He prospected me for 6 months before I would go work with him. Every Sunday night, he would call me and he'd say, "Did you write any contracts yet?" And I'd say, "No." And he'd be like, "Well, 0% of zero is still zero, Horn. Why don't you come work with me? I got a seat for you." I'd be like, "No, I can do it on my own. I have a 90-10 split." And then finally, I said, all right, what do you need? And he wanted me to be a marketing director in his buyers. It's the best move I made. So I was his marketing director and buyer's agent. And he's incredible, diligent, action-taking prospector. And it's amazing that the habits came so, I really have to fight for the habits. I think a lot of people are like that. And Vinny, I didn't get to see his fight. I'm sure everybody has their fight to get there. But at 8:30 in the morning, he was on the phone. He put a sign on top of his door that said "Cell Block D, nobody come in," and nobody could go in until 11:30 when he was done. So, yeah, I had a great career so far. It's getting better every day, and being with you has been pivotal. And the second major pivotal part of my career has been working with you. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And so you got your start in New York. How many years ago was that?
2014, I got licensed. I didn't join Vinny's team until 2015. So I did absolutely nothing that first year. And then I moved to Florida at the end of 2017. And then I had a short hiatus, and I've been back in general brokerage from 2019.
Got it. So let's say since 2019, what's the progression been like in terms of production?
So when I came to Florida, there's a very big difference in the market. It's an attorney state in New York, and it's title state here. So I had to learn, and I never had to touch a file in New York. I did the marketing. I wrote I wrote a contract, and I handed it off to a transaction coordinator. So I had to learn, like being a brand new agent. Yes, the 2019 is very fair to say. I had to learn where I was, how to sell homes here. And a roof in New York, you could put 3 layers of shingles. Here, you can't even get insurance on a roof if it's past a certain age. So there was a lot of that. I was able to negotiate a position with a small builder that I knew would give me the money. I knew how much money I had to make for the year to get through the year. I got my broker's license in Florida, so that gave me a step ahead. I was able to be the broker of record for that builder, sell out the first phase with a brokerage that he opened under my name, and make the money I needed to make to learn the market and survive for that first year. So as soon as that was done, I came to RE/MAX Elite, which was the company that I was waiting to join or rejoin, because I was interviewing with them before the builder. And then I hit it. I took all the tools I learned from Vinny, and I knew how to market on a shoestring. I knew where $500 a month could get me to get my phone ringing. Obviously the market has changed in the last year, shifted. And I was very buyer heavy, always. but I was able to really build it on a shoestring and then increase my marketing. And then I needed to shift again. Well, it's always shifting, right? So to grow past where I was able to grow, I needed to really turn on my listing agent hat and a real CEO hat. But I was able to grow from 2019. So it was from May. So it's only 6 months in 2019. I think I did 20 deals and 9 million. 2020, I did, I think, around 12 million. I had a partner at the time. So I'm trying to remember like just my side. So yeah, maybe 11, 12 million and 28 deals. And then 2022, I did 17 million and 62 deals. And then 2022, I forgot what year I'm up to already, but this year I'm on track with a lot of help. That 90-day challenge that we did really put me right back where.
Let's talk about the 90-day challenge, because I think, at the time that we're going to be releasing this video and sharing this podcast with everybody, we'll probably have about 90 to 100 days left in the year. So I think it'd be something that our audience can benefit from. So we did a 90-day challenge. Let's talk about the 90-day challenge. Okay. So you're in coaching with us. We're doing our listings on demand. We're working with you every Monday, every Tuesday, every Thursday. And we're continuously to grow. And then Chadi comes around and said, hey, anybody really want to go to the next level a little bit faster and do a little bit more things? And well, how about if we do something every single day, 5 days a week, instead of like just checking in on our group coaching sessions, etc. And right away you raised your head and you said, oh man, what do I got to do? And you had no idea what you were getting yourself into.
Not a clue. It was great.
So we did the 90-day challenge. Before we talk about exactly what we did during the 90 days, what was the outcome of the 90 days for you? Like how much money, how many transactions, volume, just the 90 days that we did.
So I didn't count what I wrote for contracts before the 90 days, but I did count anything that closed. So if it went to close. So I signed in total, the end of the day, it was 13 deals and $152,000 in that 90 days. And most of that was new. So I'd say maybe, let me start with this. 3 of them were my listings that I got the buyer on. So they were listed before, and then I found the buyer on them and during the 90-day challenge. It was monumental. It was such a great, It was ass kicking, excuse me, but it was it really showed heart, and I had it, and it made me feel good then. And everybody was so involved. When you present things like that there are these bonuses to make us grow, and I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure almost everyone in our group feels the same way, if not everybody. We know that it doesn't matter what we're signing up for, that if you're presenting it and it's an opportunity for us to grow, that if we do it blindly, that we're going to grow. So
I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you did the math on it, in 90 days, there's about 13 weeks. You did a deal every single week. Okay. Mm-hmm. At $152,000 in 90 days, there's a lot of people out there that, they're saying, hey, I just want to get to $100,000 a year. And you were able to do that in 90 days. So first of all, kudos to you. Congratulations on that. But let's talk about that journey and what you really learned from it, because we did put some stipulations going into it. We said, hey, every single day, you got to wake up at a specific time. I don't know. I was getting up at 4:44 a.m. I don't remember. I think for you it was like 5 a.m. Was it?
5:30. 5:30.
Okay, so you were getting up at 5:30. You had to do a rigid morning routine to get your mind and body and spirit and sharpen your axe every single morning. And you had to check in. We were in a WhatsApp group checking that in, and everybody's checking it in. So what I love about being part of a community like that is sometimes you wake up and you don't want to take action and do this crazy stuff that we do, but everybody else is doing it. Did that play a role and help pushing you and motivating you to show up every single day no matter what?
Yes, it definitely did. The mornings historically for me have been hard. I worked nights for 15 years before I became a mother at 30. So from 15 to 30, I was up all night. So it was a really hard transition. But this, in the last couple of years, I'm getting, I'm in the office early, but to dedicate that time for myself in the morning, not only do you feel better, I mean, it's just logic. If you do it, you feel better, but to be accountable for people, to even make yourself feel better is you're winning either way. So even if you don't feel like it, you're like, okay, well, Mike's here, Michelle's here, and Chadi's here, and I'm here. I did it. Now I have to get up, because later on when they asked me about it, it can't be like I was up and I did nothing. So yeah, it's huge. It's huge to have the accountability. And then when we would talk to each other outside of the check-in group, the accountability group, we all had our struggles. And there were people to talk about those struggles with that understood the same thing. Like, I didn't feel like it today, or I didn't feel good, or, my kid's bus was late. Like, things do happen. And to find a way to still take care of you, and to let the obstacles, they're not even problems to me anymore. The bumps in the road come, like they're easier to overcome because you know how to take care of yourself.
Awesome. All right. So we completed the 90 days. You were making 30 contacts every single day, the role plays and all that good stuff. I'm just going to backtrack a little bit. I'm just curious, like, why did you get involved in our coaching program when there's a ton of other coaching programs out there?
Well, because of you, first and foremost. You were referred to me by a gentleman in my office who is a very hardworking, very diligent prospector. So, when you encounter people in any area of your life that you feel like they have something that you want, and I don't mean like a material thing, I mean like a characteristic, or, that you look up to them and you want to be like them. So this gentleman was a person like that to me, how I saw him from when I've been in this office. And we started talking more over the years, the last couple of years. And, he knew I was coaching with another company, and I wasn't really it was great to have the accountability for sure. But what I was looking to get was not what I was getting. So he suggested that I look you up, and I did. And I was like, yeah, this is my flavor. Like, okay, this is what I need. I need to get my ass kicked, and I need to totally change my mindset on what I have to do to become a listing agent. What changes, not only the marketing you have to change. Chadi, let's be real. When I started with you, I was not prepared for the journey. What I thought the journey was going to be and what the journey is are very, very different. And everybody grows at their own pace. I am an overachiever. So it was really hard for me not to grow at the pace that I wanted to grow. But you have to, not only do you have to learn, you have to unlearn. And I had a lot to unlearn for many, many years, even before real estate. And that's how I got to you. So when Stuart told me to look you up, and then I signed up for a one-on-one with you, and you're real. You speak real language. You talk from your heart. You care a lot more than a lot of other people do, and you prove it over and over again. And I don't think another coaching program for me, because I listen to them all on YouTube. We all do. What does this script sound like? What does this guy say? What is, and there's so much of it that if you can all day, you could never take action and just listen all day. And that's what so many of us agents fall into. And I trusted my gut, and I trusted Stuart, and I stopped listening to all the other noise, and I just did what you told me to do.
Excellent. What were some of the things that I told you to do that you actually did that moved the needle the quickest? There's somebody out there, and they can watch the YouTube videos and stuff like that, but let them hear it from someone that actually went through it. Because you said, hey, I had to unlearn some things. Different people got to unlearn different things. And, in essence, unlearning, you're making room to learn something new. So if there's just one piece of advice, one tip, one strategy that you've taken away from this course that did like the biggest impact for you, what would just that one thing be, so we can steer people in that direction?
So the one thing is multi-layered, but I'm gonna, and it could grow anyway. I was always afraid of learning scripts because I would sound like a robot. I always shied away from that. I never learned a script to work with the buyer. Like, I looked up the LP Mama. Like, there's no questions with that. I'm just trying to find out these points. And I never learned a script for a buyer. And I don't even blink my eyes when I get on the phone with the buyer. Like, it's never been, there was no, am I anxious? Was I not? Never, ever. And I couldn't understand why. A phone call is a phone call. So what does it matter if it's a buyer or a seller? So how come I can make those calls with the buyer and not even have the slightest bit of anxiety? And then I'm freaking out when I have to call a seller. So I'm trying not to digress. To learn that the scripts are just a foundation, and to take the scripts and say, how can I merge it into what am I asking with memorizing the question? I'm asking for motivation. I'm asking for, why is the motivation even important to them? What are the underlying factors? I'm being human and having a conversation. But just like an LP Mama on the buyer side, I had to interpret the scripts and not really worry about, you have to memorize to internalize, but the internalized part is so much further than the memorized part. And I had a constant struggle with that because I thought you had to memorize the script. And then I was fighting it because I felt like I sounded robotic. I don't know why it took so long for me to connect that. But that's it. That learn the scripts so that you can learn how you are.
Yep.
With asking those questions.
Yep. I love the fact that you brought that up, Melissa, because in my very strong opinion, I think scripts do more harm than good. And the reason being is everybody focuses on memorizing their script. And then once they memorize their script, they have a hard time communicating what it is that they memorize because it really doesn't fit their personality and doesn't fit their personality style. That's why we tell everybody, look, step number one is only the memorization. Then you got to go to the internalization. And a lot of people never make it to step number three, which is the personalization. And the only way that you're going to be able to personalize, that script is if you really understand the art and science of influence, the psychology of selling, and most people don't. And that's why we developed the segment Dream Scripts, where every single Tuesday, that's exactly what we do, is we try to take who you are and give you the right scripts in the way that they fit your personality and selling style. And all of a sudden, people just come back and say, hey, this 10x my confidence. I find myself now taking action where I used to hesitate and resist. And so basically what you're saying is, look, hey, memorize it and then internalize it and then find someone to help you personalize it. That is what you're saying, right?
100%. 100%.
Oh,
yes. Perfect. And I don't think you were the one, Chadi. Like there was so many that I tried. I'm the chaos agent. I'm the hamster wheel. To do the business that I've done by myself on the buy side, my kids didn't eat a vegetable for a year. Like and yeah, I'm growing. And I think we were just talking about it before. I don't even mind falling anymore because every time I take that little bit of a trip, I'm jumping 2 feet ahead. So I'm going much further ahead than I am actually even falling. And you know what? I wake up happy every day. So what's better than that?
Exactly. So Melissa, we're gonna end this in the next couple of minutes. And before we do, I want to ask you this question because you obviously had Vinny as a mentor. You've been with many other mentors. You're here right now, and I'm not going to say that one is better than another. I think a different chapter in your business, in your journey, requires a different mentor and all that good stuff. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to be the mentor to the thousands of people that are going to consume this video and either on Spotify or any podcast platform or YouTube and the likes. I want you to talk to that person right now that may be in their head and maybe they're afraid of a market shift. or they're afraid that they just don't have what it takes to continue to grow this business, what would be like one, two, or three things you would share with that person to make sure that that person is going to be better off in the future because they heard what you have to say right now?
So for anybody that's sitting and watching, whether they're an agent for a while, a brand new agent, the market is changing. Get out of your head. I learned that 110% in the last year. Get out of your head and find out what you really want. And if this is what you really want, find the tools to get yourself going and get in action. And if it's not what you want, find what you want and then get the tools to get yourself in action. So it's learning discipline, but not, I thought discipline was, losing any fun. Like discipline is just go, 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 go. And no, discipline is self-care. Discipline is loving yourself. Discipline is not beating yourself up when you can't follow your schedule the exact way it is, but making sure the non-negotiables are taken care of. So discipline doesn't have to be harsh. So if you are out there and you're not sure, the market shift has nothing to do with if you're a good agent or not. So if the market shift scares you, then you need, and you really, really love real estate, this is your passion, what you want to do, get out of your head, find a way to take action and take action. If this isn't what you want to do, then you have to find what you do want to do. And if you're in this for the money, you really need to take another look at what you want to do, because the money will always come if you're being true to yourself and you love what you do, no matter what. Yeah.
I love it, Melissa. I'm gonna unpack what you said in a different way, and you correct me if I take this in the wrong direction. So basically, number one, what you're saying is connect with your why, connect with your purpose, connect with why you got involved in the real estate. If that's there, then your next step is to identify, hey, what are the action items that I need to partake in every single day? And if I don't know how to do these action items, who can I find to work with that can help me with those action items? And the final thing that you said is discipline. But I love the way that you described the word discipline. You said discipline is self-care. Care for yourself and love for yourself. And we preach this every single day in LOD, where we say our number one goal today, it's not to set an appointment. It's not to, find a transaction, close a transaction and make a specific amount of money. Our number one goal every single day is to feel good, because when you feel good, you act good and you receive good.
And then you feel better.
And then goal number two, even better. I love it. Any final words of wisdom? Anything you want to say to be complete?
Well, thank you again for having me here. Thank you again for growing with me and introducing me to a fine bunch of agents that have become very good friends. This is my tribe, and I'm glad to be here. And if anyone out there is feeling anything we're talking about, make sure you get in touch with Chadi, because it'll be life-changing.
Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you for that. And I can't wait to continue the journey with you. I see a whole nother level for you. And I think the next challenge that we're going to do, about 100 last day of the year challenge. Get ready for that one. We're about to make those old numbers look like little numbers. So,
all right, good, because I'm ready.
Awesome. You're the best. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.